When I first started, my dream was just to one day have one novel published. That was it, just if I could just have one novel published. And like everything else in life, when you're somewhat ambitious and you're happy, you should enjoy that moment and then move on. So then it was like, could I get 2 novels published? Could I make a career of it? Wouldn't it be cool if one day I hit a bestseller list? Wouldn't it be cool if one day I hit #1? And you just keep going like that, and before you know it, you have a career. So the key thing, I guess, about my trajectory is how surprising it's been that I never dreamed I would be this successful. How to say that and sound modest? I never dreamed I would actually be here today where I am now. It is actually a dream come true. I was in college and I worked a summer job as a tour guide down in Spain, and I said, wow, someone should write a book about this weird experience. And I sat down and I started to, and the book was horrendous. It was pompous, pretentious, self-absorbed, things most first novels are. But then that gave me the writing bug, and I started to write what I love, which I call the novel of immersion. That book you take on vacation, but you can't leave your hotel room because you have to know what happened. So that's how I started. I was around 19 or 20 years old when I just decided to write a full novel. Well, there's 2 answers to that. One is there's a lot of moments when I kind of feel like I've arrived. One is seeing someone read the book. I still get the thrill of every time my publisher sends me that first copy of the book, I still have to take it out. I still like to look at it. I pretend I'm putting it on a shelf. I pretend what it's like to actually see it. The first time you see it in a bookstore, the first time you get email response from readers, all of those moments are great. Winning the awards or, all that kind of stuff, wonderful, bestseller list, wonderful. But for me, it's always kind of been about that smaller moment, that one person is reading it, that email I'll get from a soldier who's serving overseas, that email I'll get or call I'll get from the woman who is going through chemotherapy. Those are more those kind of moments when you think you make it. That's part 1 of the answer. Part 2 of the answer is, because writers are naturally insecure, we never think we make it. There's always a part of us who goes, I'm not there yet. I'm still on the trajectory going up. And I think that's also good. That sort of insecurity fuels you to keep writing. Sometimes writing is like trying to reach a state of nirvana you can never quite reach. Each book, you're kind of aiming here, and you maybe get to there, so the next book you'll try again. And that's one of the things that keeps me writing. One of the things that annoys me is all heck. And if any of you writers say this on the show, please yell at them for me. But when the writer says, I write only for myself, I don't care if anyone reads it. That's like saying, I talk only to myself. I don't care if anyone hears about it. Writing is about communication. If you write a book and no one reads it, you don't exist as a writer. Sorry, you don't. If you're writing it for yourself, that's called therapy. That's not called writing. I write so people will read it. Okay, that may make me commercial or may not, I don't know, it doesn't make a difference. But a writer without a reader is a man who claps with one hand. The reader is the other hand. And so that's the only way it actually is a clap. So when I write a book, it's not a book yet. Right now, as we're doing this, I finished The Stranger, but when someone reads The Stranger and the characters come to life in their heads, different from everybody else's, that's when it finally becomes a book. That's when it's real. And that connection is still why I write. That connection, being able to tell somebody a story, entertain them, move them, enlighten them, that's still the reason why I write. When you first start out, I think that a lot of people get intimidated. They'll read somebody's book and they go, oh my God, this is such genius. I want to write this. I never had that. What I more have is I want to give somebody a similar feeling. I know I'm not meant to write that book, and this is a very valuable thing for people who want to write. You were not meant to write that book. Whatever your favorite book is, whatever book you wish you wrote, you weren't meant to write it. You may be meant to write something equally great, but you're not meant to write that. Accept that, enjoy that, be appreciative of that experience, and use that to fuel you to want to get better in whatever part you're doing. You're not supposed to have written whatever your favorite book is. You're not supposed to have made your favorite movie. You were supposed to have enjoyed it. Now you can move on and create your own thing. I'm ambitious, so I want to do a lot of things. I want to entertain you. I want to move you. I want to enthrall you. I want to keep you up all night. I want the book to linger a little bit. The Stranger especially. The ending of The Stranger, I'm told, is my most surprising. I think it's my most devastating anyway. And I want that to linger. I want you, when you close the book, to still think about it a little bit. I'm never happy with just, I'm known, I guess, for twists and turns and fast-moving plots, and that's all great. But I can have the most expensive car in the world. If it doesn't have fuel, it's not going anywhere. I have to move you. I have to stir the heart. If I'm just stirring your pulse and not your mind and your heart, I'm not doing my job. So I want to have all of those things. And I think The Stranger does more than any other book that I've written. It's a study about a marriage, it's a study about life, it's a study about our secrets, it's a study a little bit about what we think is anonymous that's really not anonymous, and what happens when all of that explodes. How does that affect and ripple in your life? That's the experience I want to give you. So I want to give you, there's a joke, I want to laugh, cry, and become part of you. That's what I want. I want all those things. And I'm not satisfied to know that I just did one or two of them. I want to give you that full experience. But that said, my goal is to be, to keep you up at night. To make you take that book and vanish. You're gone in that world. If it also entertains you, if it also educates you and other things, okay, great. But it has to be where you're gone in my world.